Warren and Mark, the two fathers that started the business, they got together real early on and they were partners in a ripening facility. So they used to both be in the wholesale market. They were banana wholesalers.
I was about 8. I think Dad wanted to do something different.
I think it was Mark that actually first said, look, I'd love to do something about growing some tomatoes that tasted really good. So he came up with the name Flavorite.
And then we bought a farm and started growing field tomatoes. He said, I see an opportunity here to grow a better tomato that the consumer will love. Polystyrene boxes full of sawdust and then an unheated crop of tomatoes. That was really the first hydroponic stuff we did.
It's a great story, but it's built into what it is today.
Or even when you look at these picking trolleys, and we used to just carry a polystyrene box down the row, and the fruit was so low, sometimes you'd be crawling on your hands and knees, and you'd feel every little rock under the plastic in your knee.
There was a sales team of 2-3 people back when I started, no marketing team, and it was the old school. We'd have a fax of an order come through, we'd put it into an old Excel spreadsheet, and then basically work out how much stock we've got coming in from different growers. I think we had about 30 or 40 growers on top of our own production.
The pack house now compared to what it was 20 years ago, it was tables and people and pallets on the floor. We were pioneers in the market. I started when I was 16. There was this big sign that they had painted put up on the wall, the trading stand, what is a customer? They're our life's blood, and that's really what got fed through to us as well, is how important our customers are. And off the back of that, it's without our growers, our suppliers, because we weren't growers back then, we don't have a job either. So it's important to make sure that we do a good job for our growers, but also look after our customers as well.
Murphy Fresh started in about 1998. It really started when Dad and Mum were on a holiday down in Gippsland and they saw an open day for Flavorite. Dad had worked with Mark and Warren in the markets prior to Flavorite and Murphy Fresh. So Dad and Mum thought they'd pop in. Got talking and I think Mark said, why don't you have a crack at Mansfield? So Dad said, yep, we had a crack. I think it was about a year after Mum and Dad started, they said to me, do you want to come and have a play in the hydroponic field? And I said yes, and it all went on from there. With Mark and Warren, they certainly mentored us a lot when we were starting out. Have fond memories of them coming up to the farm and teaching us, what was right and what was wrong.
Both had the same outlook that when we started, it was about building the industry, not just all about profit and things like that. I especially remember asking Mark one day, why are we growing good plants for our competitors when we were as a nursery supplier? And he said to me, there's no point, Matt, having good tomatoes on the market that are hydroponic from us, but have them in the market alongside bad hydroponic tomatoes, because it just gives hydroponic tomatoes a bad name.
It just seemed like Mark's passion, just getting involved with all these different groups outside of Flavorite. Like, he was the one that we started Maddie's Month with. Before that, we were doing Movember. Just seems like once he gets his mind set on something, he really wanted to do it.
When I started in the Footscray market, I used to work with Warren. The best person to work, or the best boss to work with, was always had that little smile on his face whenever he greeted you early in the morning. You always had to give him a hard handshake. He didn't like that little one. You have to give him a little squeeze and that he kind of taught me the handshake. This is how you shake hands.
I can always remember Warren and Mark were great supporters of their own sons and myself as we were young up-and-coming professional people. Whenever we faced issues, they never felt those issues were problems. They felt those issues were opportunities for improvement and opportunities for business growth. So they had a different way of approaching problem solving.
what it is more, it's an ethic that you're brought up with. There's not too many people that are sort of successful in this industry that don't work hard to get to where they are. So it's in your blood. It's a family thing, I guess.
My fondest memory of Mark, he saw me at our Christmas function, and he asked me a question which made me really think of the values. He asked me, how's your family? He did not ask about my position, what the job challenges are. He wanted to really know if we are all in a good state and if my family is happy. So it made me think, he's imprinted the foundation of family value.
When I think about memorable moments here at Flavorite, I've really enjoyed the people I've met, the people I've worked with.
The culture is a really big thing here at Flavorite. We are all one family.
All this experience, which made me who I am right now, I've learned because of Flavorite and because of people who cared about me and who believed in me as well. And I'm just very grateful about it.
Everyone is so fantastic, and I've had 3 kids and they've just been like, yep, let's make the job flexible, let's change it round, and they're fun as well.
We've got over 1,000 people in our business now, and I think that we've been very successful at keeping that family feel. We really believe that our people are the most important thing to our business.
For 17 years that I work in Flavorite, this company is a part of me, has been a part of me, and it inspires me to come to work every day because I love my job. And I enjoy working with friendly and nice people with different cultures.
If you think about the early days, it was a struggle. We had a few crop failures early on, to the point where mum and dad remortgaging the house. And so there was probably times there when, we weren't sure it was going to work ourselves.
It was a bit of a punt to go out and spend money on the infrastructure to produce bigger volumes to get it to that critical mass where we had enough supply to be able to satisfy their needs and not be in and out of supply.
The other biggest challenges was in the last 2 years with COVID, and we didn't have people. The crop in here that we're in now, we actually had to turn it off. And I've never had to do that in 23 years of growing. It was it was devastating, really.
The thing I've never forgotten is the first day we had to sow 100,000 seeds, because we didn't have any machines back then. We had about 100 employees on the farm at the time. We just said to everybody at about 3 o'clock, here's a packet of 1,000 seeds, put them in here. Once you finish your packet, you can go home. Since then, we've just been very good at problem solving.
It was exciting. It was a brand new industry. We were creating a brand new industry in Australia. We were changing things up. We ruffled feathers, and obviously we've been successful because we're now 30 years old.
What I think our fathers did, Warren and Mark, was they had a direction and a vision, and what we've been able to do with that is build on it and actually create it and turn it into something really amazing.
We have 4 production sites. We've got a site, a packing shed in Coffs Harbour in New South Wales. We've got a distribution centre in Melbourne, Ravenhall.
A lot of changes happened, When I started here, there was only 3 sheds, and Greenhouse 4 and 5 wasn't here then. So it just expanded over the years.
And now at Warragul we're at 32 plus hectares, with Chichura getting bigger and bigger. I think, all right, so we're close to 70 hectares. You think of the companies in the US, they're 450 hectares. For 26 million people, we're doing pretty well at 70 hectares.
10 years ago, there was some equipment that was old and not really effective. I remember we had these white old trolleys where we had to climb a ladder to get up to a platform, and they were horrible to work with. Now we've got these scissor lifts, we've got automated spraying, where we use robotic equipment to get the pesticides, apply that to the roots. We even have drone technology that we can tap into. And I think one of the biggest developments in my specific department was tapping into the Australian biological beneficial industry, where we can use beneficial insects to combat different pests and diseases.
What's happening now is we're actually starting earlier and earlier. You know, our customers want to get in and get out, particularly with the move to Epping. They want to get out in front of all the traffic as well, so it puts a bit of extra pressure on us as well.
No day is ever the same. There's always something that pops up, or we're always working towards a different goal, or we're trialling a new crop, or we're trialling packing a new product, or there's just constant change and we're always trying to get better and improve. And I think there's a lot of opportunities in this industry.
These days, definitely a lot more focus on using IT resources for myself and my staff. So when I first started with Flavorite, our server, so to speak, was a personal computer sitting on a desk in that dark, dingy office at Footscray. Our server is now a highly sophisticated device that is hosting maybe 60 or 70 users.
What keeps me motivated is I like teaching people, I like spending time with them and giving them the knowledge that I had, and Dad was very big on sharing knowledge. So within our industry, we're willing to share knowledge with lots of people, but also being able to teach people.
Now we grow tomatoes, we grow cucumbers, we grow capsicums, we grow eggplant, and we grow big tomatoes all the way down to tiny, tiny tomatoes. Everything that we do, we try and say, right, well, how do we improve what's on the market or bring something brand new to the market that increases the size of the pie, increases the occasions that people will eat tomatoes and other products.
I know we try and get kilograms because that makes money, but if the fruit doesn't taste good, what's the point? So I like to eat it myself, try it out. Yeah, I want it to be the best.
So looking forward to the next 20 years at Flavorite, what I see is building new people in the business, like people that are starting now, and hopefully they get to have their 20 years with the business and grow with it.
What excites me is to be able to see the Flavorite success continue to grow, but I feel that it could become worldwide success in hydroponics.
Probably one thing you'd look at and say there's a lot less retailers out there now than what there was 20, 30, 40 years ago. The supermarkets are doing a better and better job. It's challenged the independent retailer to do a better and better job, and I think, you know, the consumers are the winners out of that. There's no doubt.
Probably, you know, the future is continued expansion of sustainable production.
Seeing us trial all of the new strings and clips and look at how we can better grow and just run more sustainably.
I think the way that we heat the greenhouse is obviously very expensive at the moment using gas, so I think going forward using different fuels, biofuels to heat the greenhouses so a more cost effective and sustainable way.
Less water, less area and high quality fruit. Our consumers will actually push us to which products they want.
I think we'll enter into melons, strawberries, all those other commodities which we haven't even looked at yet.
I just don't see us slowing down, to be honest. The to-do list gets longer faster than it gets shorter. I just keep seeing us levelling up and doing more of the same and moving with the times.